Alright guys, and welcome to the 44th episode of Below the Bar.
In this episode, expect to find out how Eddie invented Netflix and chill, why you shouldn't send a half marathon without any prep,
And what happens when you try and serenade a girl with a guitar at an afters.
Let's get into it.
Hello, and welcome back to another... I've lost my... To another episode of Below the Bar.
Eddie's not sound of mind today.
I'm not... It's Easter and I'm all giddy.
He's lost his head because
Not that I'm even going out.
excited for chocolate.
Bit of housekeeping start with. One of our lights is broken, so if I'm completely in silhouette, apologies.
Yeah, it's just a 50% podcast. This is your SF arc. You're completely silhouetted, you know.
If I'm wearing a balaclava, if my face is pixelated, that's nothing to do with the lighting. That's purely because I am SF.
Purely because he is an operator and he does need his identity to be hidden at all times. Yeah.
Special needs operator.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to go through a bit of a catch-up first, correct? And then we're going to go through embarrassing stories from both sides, which is going to be, well,
highly
incriminating.
Highly incriminating.
Yeah, so that's good.
So what's happened for the past few weeks is we batch cooked
episodes,
didn't we?
Yeah.
So they were kind of
A bit
complete.
like Walter White.
Yes, they're completely out of sync, as you will have known from our absolutely horrendous take on the Princess of Wales.
Oh, yeah, seen. I
which
forgot
we yet-
when that actually went
Which
live.
we yet to be cancelled for, but it is
Yeah.
in the post.
That's hilarious.
But-
Yeah, Eddie actually clipped something up, posted that as a clip. had to retract it because of how abhorrent it was.
Yeah, and
So
I'm
that's good.
not going to repeat what you said.
No, neither
It
will I.
will get you jail time.
Because it is funny. But,
Yeah, so basically, we're recording this on, what was it, Easter Friday, is that a thing?
Good Friday.
Isn't that to do with the IRA? No, that's a good
That's the
agreement.
Good Friday agreement. It probably did happen on Good Friday.
Yeah, well, you are a terrorist now.
Yeah, well, I've been
You know about
indoctrinated.
Yeah, so we're recording this on the Friday, and this will obviously go out on the Monday, so this is a very short turnaround.
Yeah, we're up
So
to date.
So we can keep you up to date with all the things we haven't been doing.
Haven't been that.
No, we have been
Inactive.
doing stuff, to be fair. It just
don't
doesn't
think-
seem as exciting.
Well, I think we set a pretty high barrier for ourselves last year, didn't we? This is
Yeah,
the
that we
issue.
haven't fulfilled yet.
No, well, we've still got plenty of year left, to be honest. We've still got, 9 months-ish?
We have got exciting things in the timeline.
Yeah, we have, yeah.
We just haven't reached them or trained for them yet.
That's good. Yeah, and you're injured. That's
And I'm
fantastic.
not anymore. I'm on my way.
Are you on the
back,
mend?
baby? Yeah.
Give me an update on your injury.
So I'm training consistently again now.
Ah, okay.
I'm not back into full training,
Right.
but I am
What
training.
are your injuries? Go on.
Lower back injury. So did I mention this on the podcast? Like literally, so the before we flew back from Austin,
Oh, yeah.
my back went, and I'm talking about the last rep of the last session, about 3 hours before our flight.
I missed out on that session for good reason.
You actually did, didn't
Yeah.
you? Because for good reason, more incriminating reasons.
Yeah.
But so me, being the hard little worker bee that I am, thought I'd get in a session before the plane, and I'd cripple myself. That's good.
That's mad. Last rep. It's always the fucking last one. I don't know what it is.
Sandbag cleans.
How heavy? Like 60.
40.
Oh,
They're not even heavy.
Fuck.
But like
That's mad.
I obviously like hyperextended my lower back.
Yeah.
Probably not using my legs enough. And it just like I got this shooting pain like all the way up my spine.
And then you had to sit down for about 9 hours.
And I had to sit down on the plane for 10 hours, which definitely didn't fucking help.
Yeah, fantastic.
So
And
that's
where's
great.
that at now?
Pretty good. So it was fine for a good few weeks. Then I rushed too quickly back into deadlifting. And
Nice.
it went again.
Fantastic.
But now we're back to ground zero.
Okay,
So I can
cool. So
build
no
from this.
deadlifting.
Yeah, no heavy hip hinging yet.
Nice. Okay, fair. And then you had your foot thing, right?
Yeah, and then I foolishly, having not really consistently ran all year,
Yeah, well, we both
did the Liverpool. We both foolishly have it. I'll amend the story. We both foolishly, having not ran consistently all year, tried to run the Liverpool half marathon to varying success.
Well, varying degrees of failure. I would
Yeah,
put, I would put
basically.
Yeah.
You failed before the finish line.
Yeah.
I reached the finish line and then failed afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
That's
that
good.
was. I had inflated expectations for that, and it didn't go to plan. So yeah, you're dealing with a few injuries on your back, kind of coming back into full training.
They're both sound now. I just need to not. The thing with me is I just like because I have high expectations for myself. I just immediately overdo it again.
Yeah. Well, when
It's
you
a false sense of security.
it's when your mind's not caught up with your body yet.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
Well, no, wrong way around. Your body's not caught up with your mind yet, because your mind still thinks, okay, 10k is like an easy fucking distance, whatever. But it's because it's the issue when like not even really grand scheme of things that long ago. You you can run 30k or 25k or whatever. You look at 10k and you think, well, it's fine.
And you hang on to that.
Yeah, but unfortunately, physically, you don't.
You hang on to your dreams.
Yeah,
because you got nothing else.
Yeah, well, that's true. Well, like even last weekend, I'm in a fairly decent touch wood bit of health, but I'm not tremendously conditioned to running that. Last weekend I ran like 13k, and it felt long, mate. It's not grand scheme that long, but
it's relative, isn't it? Like obviously,
it's just all relative to what you've been doing.
If you've not been running long and you think that we're shitting on you running like 5k, we're not. We're talking about given our training age. Doesn't feel that much.
Yeah, well, I've had a few conversations with clients this week actually about like they've PR'd their 5k at like say I don't know 5 minutes per kilometre, and they're like, I don't understand how people can run 4:30s for 5k. It's like, well, I look at Kipchoge running in whatever, and I'm like the same. How the fuck can you run that for 26 miles?
It's all context specific,
relative,
isn't it?
Yeah. So we have got some things coming up in the pipeline. We do need to book more shit in, actually.
We do, yeah. So my project now is to become a racing snake.
Okay.
Done with lifting.
Project racing snake.
Lifting's old.
You need to fucking just not lift because you don't want to lose any muscle.
I know this is the thing. So like, I didn't. Again, like, I'm not comparing myself to this individual because that's ludicrous even for my ego. But there was an anecdotal story that they banned Manu Tuolangi from lifting weights in the England S&C sessions because he put on muscle too quickly.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not saying I have the genetics of Manu Tuolangi, but it is comparable.
A world-class rugby player.
And a sack. It is comparable in that I retain my muscle mass
quite easily.
Very easily.
You could probably just hit your protein goal and then just be fine.
Yeah, I could probably do like one lower body session and one upper body session a week.
With one full body?
Yeah, or just one full body and be sound, and then just dedicate the rest of my time to resting and running.
Yeah, that session I do sometimes when I'm like playing catch up in the week, where I'll just do a full body session. I'll just do one exercise per body part and just take it decently close to failure. And if you did that and then a session of prehab work, you'd probably be fine.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to try and do.
Yeah, it's just difficult because you've always been lifting.
I have, but I think almost like junk volume though. Like I don't think I actually needed to lift as much as I did. It's just almost like more for my mental health.
That comes with training age as well, doesn't it? Because like, there's a period of time where you have to fuck around with it to find out. Fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
But now you've kind of, actually you don't have to do that much to maintain. I'm the opposite in terms of I have to probably expose myself at least to like 3 hard sessions a week. Otherwise, I'm like losing muscle.
Well, it's like we've got to like train our weaknesses effectively. So you've got to build up to heavy deadlift for Athex.
Yeah.
And I've got to get better at compromise running.
Which is funny, right? Because Athex is in September, and I'm already about 4 or 5 weeks into a deadlift cycle. But I'll need to now continue consistently and sit for about fucking 4 months just to get decent.
I'll have to do the same with like speed work with my running and compromise running to get ready for High Rocks, which is in November.
Yeah, it's miles away.
Yeah,
but I still need to stay on top of my running. This is the issue, isn't it?
Can't win.
We
sacks.
Yeah, well, I mean, what the answer is for me anyway, because I handle volume fairly well, is to just train more. But I'm fucking busy these days.
Yeah. Well, speaking of busy, what else have we been doing now that we've had a sap about our
training experience
since
what else have we been doing? What are we talking? What's kind of time frame?
When have we had? I think the last time we checked in with people was when we got back from
Was it not
Austin.
Did we not do a little?
Did we? I mean,
nah, people, we covered 2
yeah,
topics,
people knew that you were dog sitting. You're obviously back from dog sitting now.
Yeah.
You've been to Northern Ireland.
For the first time. That was it's a shithole, but
I was just about to say.
Nah,
what's your take of
I was
Belfast?
there for like 36 hours, so I flew in, had a little event, flew out. The entire time it rained, so that coloured my experience pretty badly. And I don't know, I didn't. You know when you get to like a Liverpool or Manchester, you Google places to eat.
Yeah,
there's shitloads, isn't there? There's independent places. There's good like.
Tends to come with civilization. That
and gentrification.
Yeah,
and
class and
culture.
I
was in like this central hotel in Belfast. Googled, and it was like all just chain shit. It was all like Subway, Nando's, and Pizza Express, which is fine, but it's nothing to write home about, is it?
No, that's
all
a shame.
that here.
To be honest, I haven't heard great things about Belfast in comparison to Dublin, which is basically on the same landmass. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I feel
Dublin's supposed to be better.
It's like comparing London to Birmingham, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe it is the Birmingham of Ireland.
Which is, again...
That's not what you want to hear,
That's not a compliment, really, is
no.
it? begs the question: should we have left it to the Raw?
Yeah.
Controversial, but
well,
lives could have been saved.
Lives could have been saved, and ultimately you wouldn't be lumbered with
That
bag of shit.
There you go.
Yeah, but
fuck the Good Friday group. I've just solved the issue.
Solved it all completely. Also, right, this was jarring. So, because of where we live, but this is probably similar to most people, getting the process of getting to the airport through security and waiting for the plane took about 3 times as long as the actual flight. So that was mental. I was on the flight for 45 minutes.
That's so like so I gave you a lift to the airport.
Yeah,
that journey alone
was about 45 minutes. Yeah. It's mental.
And then you've got the 90 minutes of fanning around in the airport.
And then it was a little bit delayed as well.
For a 45-minute flight.
Yeah, it's fucking jarring.
Shit, that.
Well, I was Googling it, and it's like a 7-hour drive. I was like, I should have just driven. And then it's probably it's probably net the same, yeah. But it was for just this fucking business event thing where my head's still fried from because I haven't had a chance to process all the stuff that I was onboarding. Because I got back and was straight back into work, basically, which isn't ideal.
It's been a heavy week, hasn't it?
Yeah, but previous to that, I finished up dog sitting and ended that with Liverpool half marathon, which didn't go very well, as we spoke about.
No, well, we actually haven't addressed it on the. Have we addressed it on the podcast? No, because we haven't filmed on since, have we? But if people follow us on social media, they probably have a rough idea of what happened.
Probably get an idea, but essentially, it was quite warm on the day. I chose to run with some faster individuals than myself.
It'll remain nameless, apart from when you accidentally mention them on the podcast.
Yeah, a couple of times. They remain anonymous, but they're fucking rapid, right, for want of a better word. I'm currently not very rapid. Even in my top shape, though, I've never been as fit as them, if that makes sense.
It is an issue that they are rapid and you're not very rapid in it, really, when you're running.
Together,
yeah. I can see where there's a lot of room for discrepancy there.
Well, that's it. And there was a discrepancy.
Quite a major. Yeah. There was quite a major transgression about
100 metres away from the finish line.
Yeah.
So I got I was running well below where I should have been running pace wise for the entire time, and then I was 12 miles in to a 13.1 mile race, and from that point I can't really remember anything because I was basically just using momentum to move forward. I wasn't really doing anything myself, and then it would appear that I stumbled off to the side and fucking gave away a little bit.
Didn't black out. Gravity just got the better of him.
Yeah,
that's how we'll spin it.
Basically, and I was for context, I was on for 1:35 finish, and ended up finishing in 1:55 because it took me 20 minutes to negotiate 100 metres.
Mad that. That's like the half marathon equivalent of I had trials at West Ham. That
basically, yeah.
But I mean, your knee went.
Yeah. Well, my head went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's there though.
Well, it is. This is the thing. It's there without training.
Yeah, again, this is the problem. We've just spent 10 minutes telling everyone about how we can't consistently train for whatever reason.
Yeah, but
watch this space.
If I trained for it, I reckon I could. If I did a full thing, I think I could do a 90-minute.
She's good at it. I mean, you've basically done it.
Well,
I mean, I could run the length of Africa if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But I just can't be arsed. I've thought about it, and that's as good as.
You run a 5K, it's the same. Basically the same thing.
Just extrapolate outwards a bit.
Exactly. That's all. That's all you need to do. But yeah, that's pretty much. Is that pretty much it?
Well, I started doing another qualification because I've completely institutionalised by education.
Yeah, Ed's been out of education for a total of about 12 months and couldn't handle that.
I've learned I always need to be working towards some kind of formal qualification because I grew up in a family of educators, right? And I was kind of brought upon the idea that there's a lot of value in education. So a lot of my self-worth is caught up in whether I'm working towards a new qualification.
Where's that end there? You've already got a master's.
A couple of PhDs. I do want a PhD.
Right.
Years ago, I set myself the goal of getting a PhD before I was 30.
Time's running out.
How old am I? 25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nearly 26.
5 years. Yeah.
So
4 years.
Is that how long is it a PhD?
3. So if you
do
work in higher education and you've got any PhD courses going, get in touch.
Yeah, well, no one who works in higher education listens to this. That's a fucking damn shame.
Me soon.
Yeah. So Ed's now back in education. I'm firmly out of education.
You are. I'm going to be the education womble.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the brain power behind whatever this is, this clusterfuck.
You might bring some order to the situation.
It needs it. Yeah, so I'm working towards my level 4 S&C diploma, which is like the one rung up from level 3 PT, isn't it? Yeah, it's really good actually.
It's a good
nosing out.
You're trying to get it all done in fucking like half the time it's supposed to be, aren't you?
That's
fantastic.
good, isn't it?
Yeah, just dedicating all of your time.
I'm no fucking half measures. I'm all in.
All in or all out.
On that passion, you've got to fucking die for 3 points.
Yeah. So that's something I've been thinking about actually recently. Is I think
dying for 3 points.
Yeah, Neil Warnock. no. I think passion, energy, and attitude are pretty much the most important things. I think that will dictate whether you're successful towards anything. Because I think attitude is one thing where if you're like the ability to shut off distractions and just be committed in a way that a lot of people these days don't tend to be, and have a little bit of a dogged mindset. I don't think that happens enough nowadays. But then I think the passion and energy thing, like even if you're not the most skilled or the most qualified or whatever it is, the most the knowledgeable in the room, if you bring the most passion and bring the most energy to the situation, typically you're going to be the person who gets remembered, and that counts for a lot. I think certainly if you're I only have this situation I have, or the example for myself, but if you're trying to run your own business, if you show up to every day with a certain amount of energy and a good positive attitude, then there's not a lot you can't really do. And I think just the opposite to that was if you're a little bit threaders and you let that impact your how you show up day to day. I think that can have a pretty big, significant negative effect. But I think it's just something I've been thinking about because I had that event the other day around a shitload of people who are doing fairly well, and one of the common denominators is that energy piece, and being growth minded and not having any sort of self-limiting beliefs, I think is also important. And also education, I guess. But that's the growth mindset, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Keep showing up.
That's it.
That's what it all is.
That was a little tangent, but
it was, yeah.
Go on. Anyway,
quite passionate that.
Yeah.
Deep. Well, Beyonce's launched a country album.
You wanted to talk about this, yeah?
I did want to talk about this. I'm not sure why. Just got to listen to it this morning. I think it's in my head.
Yeah,
recency bias.
That's it. I haven't actually listened to it yet. I've listened to one song, as everyone has.
So I'm not really a country fan. I'm not against country, but I'm certainly not. I don't bang the beat of the country drum, so to speak. Where do you stand on non-traditional country singers releasing, like jumping on the hype almost?
I think it depends on the outcome.
Are you a purist who gets like jaded and bitter about it?
No.
Or are you for the growth of the genre?
I'm for the growth of the genre. I'm not a purist with anything really who gets jaded and bitter about. That's part of what I was just saying about the growth mindset.
Yeah, that's true.
Just let people, if it's good, if it's objectively good, then fucking accept it and enjoy it.
But there will be country gatekeepers out there who object to it.
Of course. Well, there's that in every walk of life, isn't there?
I like it. It's good.
I think it's good. Again, it brings a little fresh dynamic to the genre, doesn't it?
I think it's slightly misleading to call it a country album. It is very rooted in country, but it's like a hybrid of genres. Like
it's Beyonce.
Well, there's a cover of Blackbird by the Beatles on it, for example.
That's good.
Which obviously,
no wonder you like it.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
the Beatles, right?
Yeah,
the birthplace of contemporary music.
I thought you said country music. Then I was getting
definitely not.
worried.
Definitely not country music. No, it is good though. Are people going to object to this because she's not a fat white woman beating man?
You have to say every country artist is.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Probably. I know I say that as satire. I think they will.
Yeah.
She is a Texan though.
Is she? Yeah. Well, there you go.
So she has a God-given right to make country music.
Produce country music. Yeah. Well, that's fair. And she's stepping into the. She's done it first, basically, before other, non-country artists step into that. I think she's arguably done an all right job.
Right place, right time.
I don't think she's done a bad job, but it could have been terrible.
I think they did a good job of releasing Texas Hold'em as like the single before the album.
Yeah, definitely.
Because that kind of like where everyone's whistled, didn't it?
And that went really well. I think country music's very in the zeitgeist at the moment, isn't it? It's everyone loves it.
Yeah, it's the fastest growing genre in the world, isn't it? I think.
Is it?
I think so. Yeah.
Good.
Which is why people like Beyoncé jumping on it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is good. I don't know, why do you think that is?
Well, Adam Rowe has a theory on this that it's kind of like the antithesis. So like hip hop was kind of like the in genre for like, I don't know, the past few decades, and because people are now kind of like effectively tired of hip hop, country's filled the void because that's the antithesis of it.
Isn't that what
he might have stolen it from someone else as well.
What's his name? Andrew Schultz. Andrew Schultz said that on their podcast. I think.
Oh, yeah, well, that's the conversation.
He definitely has. Yeah. So I think
that's what it is.
It's like rebellious.
I mean, traditionally it's very unrebellious, but in the context of
that's what I'm saying.
People being tired of hip hop and kind of like
is the complete opposite.
The antithesis, so it does become rebellious. Different. If that makes sense.
I quite like it just because it's it's real music.
Define real music, as in like there's guitars in it and stuff. Yeah,
guitars,
well, that's what I mean, because it's the antithesis of like, so a lot of hip hop relies on like
auto tune or whatever.
Like drum beats, like samples of other songs. It's like quite heavy sampling culture in hip hop, isn't it?
Yeah,
which is good in certain regards, but then if you have like decades of it, it gets a bit tired.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm all for the rebirth of the guitar.
Same, yeah, it's good, and it also I think makes live music better. I prefer that style of live music rather than going to see Drake or something. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you've never seen Drake, have you?
No. But for good reason.
Drake's a great example though, because he's shit, isn't he? He is, isn't he? Like he's a great unifying force. In that, like,
he is. Because he's so popular though.
Oh, but is he though? Like, he's just like background. People that like Drake don't like music, do they?
Yeah,
really?
He's very vanilla.
Yeah, so
if you ask someone what their favourite music is, you'd say Drake. That's a red flag.
Run for the hill.
Yeah. Because it's just very. It's not
music, is it really? And I'm not trying to be like gatekeepy, but like objectively, it's not music.
Well, he doesn't write his own songs.
Yeah.
And he doesn't probably write the music either. So
he just turns up.
Just shows up.
He just turns up.
He's the face of it.
And he's a gobshite and then leaves.
He's the face. That's all he is. So. Yeah,
I'm not a pretty face.
Some girls might disagree, but yeah. So I'm a big fan. I'm gonna smash it on my drive down to Bournemouth. So.
Yeah, full review to come next week.
Yeah, so I haven't listened to it yet, so I can't speak too much.
Right, well, you're all caught up now with all the things that we haven't been doing.
Yeah.
So let's now throw ourselves further under the bus and reveal embarrassing stories about ourselves.
Okay.
Who wants to go first?
I'll let you go first. I want to see how embarrassing you go.
Right, well, I don't know where to go here because there's one of me in primary school. I tried to do this chronologically, right?
Right.
So I chose one from primary school. I chose one from secondary school, although there are many, which we'll get into. And then I chose one from more recently.
Okay.
But we provisionally agreed to just do two each, didn't we?
Yeah, let's do
two.
So
I'll briefly do the primary school one, and then I'll get into the main two.
Okay.
So the primary school one was, I was incredibly shy and timid as a child. So basically, I would just cry for every school pantomime every year.
What, on stage?
Yeah, in front of everyone. So, but the most kind of like notable example of this was like the first pantomime. So I got better at it throughout school, but the first one was the worst one.
Right.
So I think it was Seven White and Seven White. That's how in tune to Disney I am.
Yeah.
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
That's the one.
And I think our reception class had to come on and do a song as like the Seven Dwarfs, even though there was about 30 of us.
Yeah.
So we were all dressed as little dwarfs, and we got on stage, and I think like the curtains opened, and I think everyone broke into like a song and a dance, and I just stood there with like rigor mortis and burst into tears in front of a good few hundred people.
That must be traumatising.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was traumatising. I got better. So that weirdly then I went like the opposite way towards the end of primary school. I went like full Billy Elliot. And I get proper into life.
Really?
I was never like in a speaking role, but like each class would come on and do a song if you weren't part of the actual cast.
Yeah.
So like, I'd get properly into it, right? Yeah. But I refused to have my face painted. So like,
'cause that's too far.
No, because I didn't like the feel of it on my skin.
It's so gay.
I like the fact that me not having my face painted is the gayest part of a story about me dancing on stage.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so I thought I was basically the bollocks.
Yeah.
Because I was like the best dancer in the class. Not really, as I stuck out like a sore thumb because
You had no face.
because I didn't have any face paint on, so I just looked like me instead of like a witch, what I was supposed to look like.
That's so So did you continue to cry or not? Were you alright?
No, so I told you I went full Billy Elliot, so I went from
okay.
being like not wanting to be on stage.
I didn't know whether you took it backstage.
That would be a really weird look, wouldn't it? So he's like the Joker. So he's like crying on stage, but he's like weirdly enjoying it.
Yeah.
He's just like lost
dragging
his
yourself through a routine.
head. He's just like lost his head.
Like completely lost his head. Fucking year 5.
Yeah.
Brilliant. That's
Full
fucking-
method acting.
That's hilarious.
Right, so moving on to secondary school, I mean, like, where take your pick here, because there's a
plethora?
there's a trophy cabinet of them.
Right, okay.
Some notable mentions: the tuna sandwich gate, which we've talked about. Like, go back to the school episode if you want to listen to that. The turkey impression. Do you remember that?
Yes.
There was a period in secondary
I do
school
know
in
that.
like year 8 and year 9 where I pimped myself out to a turkey impression, didn't I?
Yes,
To
I remember
impress
that, actually.
older kids. Which again is sad, isn't it? That's just tragic.
Never do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
imagine like TikTok was a thing then. You'd have been all over the place. Like.
I would have gone viral. Yeah, but not in a good way. In like
No.
this kid's like got no friends and he's like it's quite sad way.
You'd have been the butt of the joke.
Yeah, and then that morphed into. You remember Andy Carroll's celebration when he was at Liverpool? I became known for doing that for a while again.
Which one was that? I don't know.
It's where he'd flap his wings.
Were you
wouldn't
just
he?
quite convincing as an Andy Carroll? Was that what it was?
I think I got a laugh and then
it was the passion.
It's like, I saw that it got a laugh and I ran with it. If that makes sense,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
You flew with it. Somewhat.
Yeah. And then that morphed into. You remember Daniel Sturridge impression?
Yeah.
That I used to do at house parties.
Yeah. Well.
Again, that stinks, doesn't
That's
it?
embarrassing. Yeah. Well, that's.
Because if you remember Daniel Sturridge's goal celebration, it's hard to kind of. Obviously, I'm not going to do it now to further incriminate myself.
No.
But it was quite distinct. So the fact that I became known for that.
That became your brand almost.
At house parties.
Yeah, you don't want to be. You mean not the Lothario or.
I used to take beans to house parties as well.
That's terrible.
I told you this, haven't I?
Yeah.
I don't know if you've discussed it on the
You
podcast.
were knee deep in your bodybuilding era then.
Yeah, so I thought it would be a good look to kind of upkeep my image as a gym rat to take beans to house parties.
Beans are a terrible choice.
I know.
Fucking.
Not even a protein shake. That's how clueless I was. Obviously, there is protein in beans, but there's also a lot of carbs.
actually. Yeah, true. Yeah, but
And again, it's just not a convenient.
not a terrible food choice. I'm just saying, like for that context, not ideal at all.
I don't know. I've got this. Yeah, I can't really.
How often did this happen?
A good few times. I mean,
Was it?
people that I used to go to house parties will remember this if they're listening.
Was it like was it like a few times? Was it like 10 times?
Nah, so you're
nail
talking
this down.
like single digits.
Right. Okay.
But still, I mean,
Did you then change to something more house party friendly, or did you just chin it off?
I think it coincided with us going to college, and then I realised
Right.
how tragic it was. But like at school,
You were
like,
the
that
bean
was
man.
like the bean man, not the good type of bean either.
Yeah.
Flicking the wrong bean.
Well, exactly. You brought your own bean. Any other bean? Mad that.
Who'd have guessed? The fucking phantom bean flicker. Again, right. It's also like house parties. Obviously, like a lot of the action normally kind of gravitates towards the kitchen, doesn't it? Which is the location in which you heat beans up.
Yeah.
So there's people. I say like drinking. You're in like year 11, so it's not like it's really tepid drinking, but still, people are consuming alcohol and like
and
there's
you're
music
cooking
on.
beans.
And I'm eating beans up on a hob.
Did you have them on toast then?
No.
Excuse me, do you have any bread?
Tea leaf in Hovis.
You got any whole wheat?
Got any bread-based products, mate? I've got some beans here.
Oh, I don't do margarine.
Yeah. Yeah, don't do polyunsaturated. You got
Any
any
butter?
You got any whole butter?
It's going to be salted. Fucking hell, that's hilarious.
That's tragic. What else was it? Being Kisses, Cuddles and Films. That was bad.
That's you got to unpack.
That's particularly incriminating. That is.
Because that could mean a lot of different things.
Do you remember this?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I can't remember how I got caught. I think it's because a certain individual that we know was going out with the friend of another individual
Right.
who was with him at the time. So I don't do This is highly tragic. So what I may or may not have said to
You started.
a female individual, something along the lines of, come to mine and we can have, kisses, cuddles and films. I didn't realise that said female individual was with another said female individual who then proceeded to tell everyone in the school.
That's good. Yeah. Did that film night ever happen?
Yeah.
Oh,
It did actually, yeah. So I went through with it, but I got, it then plagued me for. So this is in like year 10. So then I got a good 12 months of kisses, cuddles, and films, and not the type I was hoping for.
Not just the sort of ridicule of that ilk.
That's
Nice.
stinking, that is, isn't it?
That's another. Was
Was
that before Netflix and chill? Because you've sort of repackaged Netflix and chill there.
I invented Netflix and chill.
They just branded it a lot cooler than you.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, like I planted the seed. They definitely kind of like reimagined it.
Yeah, you were sort of very much the top of the funnel.
I was the stink bomb end of the funnel.
Yeah,
and then it was by the time it got to Netflix and chill, it was a lot more refined.
It was definitely
because mine just gives like rapey vibes, doesn't it? Really, let's be honest. Oh, it makes my skin crawl saying it.
Gopping.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah,
you just got to wear that on your sleeve with pride, because if you didn't, you would cry.
Yeah, you probably did.
When she left me. She didn't leave me. We were never together.
Post film. Yeah, well, that's quite the storyboard you got there.
Yeah. Well, if you needed a window into my school career, that was it.
Started with crying fits, ended with cuddling fits.
I am deeply, deeply troubled.
Through education, it would seem.
Yeah, but there you go. Still ploughing away.
Never deterred.
Not ploughing birds, but
yeah.
It goes without saying.
You're in your room doing something. Your laptop's always open, so I am quite worried.
And it's not work.
Yeah.
It's not my qualification.
Yeah, that's not getting done.
Right, so my last one is, I mean, if that one was stink bomb, this is fucking like Chernobyl Reactor 4.
Right.
So do you want to pass the bat on to you for a bit, and then we'll come back
I've
to...
only got 2, so you fucking got about 4 here. You just push the boat out. It's a therapy session.
Was it in for a penny, in for a pound?
Well, yeah.
Unload all of myself
all
onto
in.
you. Again, not on women.
Yeah, well, there is that. Well, mine's also from primary school.
That's good.
I think year 5, maybe.
Ooh, basically secondary school.
Well, yeah. I mean, you wouldn't want
stage
you
2.
wouldn't have wanted this to bleed into secondary school. So there was a particular. Again, if you listen to my.
I think I know where this is going already.
No, you don't.
Did it rear its ugly head as an anecdote at secondary school? Did it get used against you by certain individuals?
I don't know.
Right, okay.
I've
got an idea. I don't want to ruin it. Yeah.
He probably did. I mean, let's face it, kids are vindictive. So if you listen to the dating episode, you'll know I have a pretty large romanticizer.
Yeah.
So I'd romanticise this certain individual for quite a long period of time. Anyway,
we
do both know quite well. Yeah. You more than me now.
Yeah.
And that's good.
Again, not in the way that you know.
Yeah. You know. I actually sought counsel from my family on this matter. So I confessed my feelings to my fam.
That's good.
And your family at that point it's not really your mum and dad because they're busy. They've got more important things to worry about.
Yeah, because your
brother and sister.
You are 11 at this point.
Yeah, my brother and sister are both older. My brother takes the reins, and he's.
Well, he knows what a vagina looks like at this point.
Well,
it's just a pipe dream to you.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, he ridicules me, which is not the response I was after. That's some genuine advice on what to do. Anyway, because I was left in the dark, I conjured up a plan all on my lonesome, and it was approaching Valentine's Day. I can't actually know what happened.
I don't like where this is going.
You might know better than me.
Because you've repressed this trauma.
I've massively repressed this. I forgot this happened until about 20 minutes ago.
I think this is the story that I was thinking about. I'm not entirely sure the direction that it eventually went.
Okay, well, maybe
I think
you
I
can
know
give
how
some
it,
clarity.
I think I
in a
know
minute.
how it ended.
Yeah.
And I'm not a betting man. I'm
It
sure the
didn't-
people out there can guess how it ended as well.
It didn't end... Well, spoiler alert, we're not together today.
Yeah. Funny that, isn't it?
That's mad. Anyway, I can't remember exactly what I bought. Might have bought... She's like year 5 as
was
well.
it socks?
Nah, it was like a teddy bear
Not bad.
with a little thing. And I think... And then...
Lube.
Chocolate. It was like chocolate, but you know them you get them fucking Valentine's chocolates. One of them that you get like your fucking teacher or something.
I don't know if this is what happened or this is like the product of like Chinese whispers at school.
Right.
But didn't she reject you?
Yeah.
But then take the chocolates and scran them?
Potentially. I don't know.
No, she took the bear. She definitely took the bear because I think she actually kept the bear despite having batted away your proposition.
I think that might be the case. I wonder if she's still got it. She's ask her.
Yeah, shall I forgot about that story.
I bet she has as well.
That's stink
She's,
bomb, innit?
she's probably repressed that trauma.
Yeah, well.
Because it was public, this failure. I'll just say. It wasn't like... It wasn't like I just did this, after school or whatever. I thought, no.
Was this like in the
What's
middle of
gonna be-
like playtime kind of thing?
Yeah, what's going to be the hardest for her to say no? And I made it harder for her to say no. She still said no.
That's very on brand for you, actually, even at
High
that
risk,
age.
high
High
reward.
risk strategy.
Yeah, potentially high reward, not in that case. So what, yeah, middle of playtime, middle of the fucking...
Not your playtime.
middle of the big play area thing outside that everyone was in. It's the busiest place, basically. I walked up to her and tried to present my wares.
But
and,
again, kids are
batted
evil,
away.
though, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because you probably had like a big crowd around you. Everyone knew what was coming because it was
Yeah.
like Chinese whispers.
Mm.
And then you fell on your sword.
Yeah, well, quite
Not that sword.
Yeah. It's mad, isn't it? That was year 5 or 6, I think. So you're like 12 at that point. The fuck was I doing? I had more balls about me then than I do now with women.
Yeah, well, ironically,
That's mad,
your
innit?
approach anxiety's just got worse from that point, hasn't it?
Wonder why.
Well, exactly.
Thanks.
Yeah, cheers. You know who you are. Yeah, we both know who you are.
Yeah, so that's my first one.
That's
And
stink
it
bomb.
was stinking.
I don't know which way to take this now. Because we could do mine, but this is gopping. So I don't know
Do you
whether
want to finish on yours?
do we want to finish on mine, and then we're all kind of left a bit broken, or do we want the trauma now, and then we have a palate cleanse with yours?
I think we go all in and then just get broken at the end.
Right, okay, that's fine. Right, so what's your second one?
All right, so I've got a choice between two here, and one of them is just a bit tragic,
Right,
and he's also in my primary school years.
That's a bit of a cop out there because you don't really know who you are. We want like up to date.
The other
last
one's
week.
a little bit more close to home.
Yeah, we want that.
It's not to do with relationships though, which is boring.
Is it not? Oh, that's all right. Yeah, whatever.
What do you think? Which one?
More recent one, I think.
Okay, well this is career related
Right, okay. Go on.
actually. So I don't know if I've spanned this on the podcast. I think I maybe have once. Essentially, in my during my transition, I think I have spanned this actually, but yeah, whatever. During my transition out into
To a
civilian
lady.
street,
To a lady.
again, leave the relationship. It's not a relationship.
Well, no, you
boys.
transition from being a man to a woman. That'd be a good
Well,
niche for you, actually.
That's my
the
next,
Marines
next
fails.
story. Yeah, how to rekindle your testosterone after a transition.
Bit niche.
Very niche. Propane.
Pissing in the wind a bit, really, there. Build muscle with no testosterone.
Yeah, yeah.
Right,
Well,
go
I
on.
mean, it's not far away from some of the promises some coaches make. Anyway, yeah. So I was in the process of like leaving the Marines. Effectively, my initial thought was to transition into RAF as a PTI. Anyway, I was effectively known within the troop as the Fizz Ninja.
I know where this is going.
Right. So
Yeah.
expected that I was going to piss this basically because it's the RAF as well. Like you hold yourself to a decent standard in the Marines. RAF, it's like, well, again, because no one really knows what's involved. You just see RAF PTI, think like RAF physical tests. It must be easy, It's probably easy to do. So should you not succeed there, it's a little bit embarrassing. So I'm good at like preparing for stuff and trying to box around, I guess, failure and embarrassment. But this was like a psychometric test, which was very specific. Anyone who's done a psychometric test will know. It was like maths, some literacy stuff, some like shape orientation shit, and then some memory stuff, and then some like mechanical comprehension. Anyway,
it's all bollocks, and none of it actually has
bullshit.
None of it really reflects your actual intelligence whatsoever. But you just got to jump through the hoop.
Well, that is exactly. It's a hoop jumping exercise, but effectively, all of the things I could revise for in terms of the maths, the English, the literacy stuff, the even the mechanical comprehension stuff up to a point. All stuff you can actually get better at.
Yeah.
I passed. Right. But you need like an average level across the board, which meant you needed a certain amount on the memory and a certain amount on the shapes thing. If your brain just doesn't work in a certain way in terms of shapes, it just doesn't work. I would show my dad's an architect. I would show him, and he's like done it.
Yeah,
because he's just that's his job,
and that's why he's an architect.
Well, there you go. I'm not an architect, so I would look at this thing, and my brain just doesn't compute it. And there's no amount of fucking practice or training you can do to do that. So shock, I was in the fucking exam, just like multiple choice, just fucking guessing, and I failed right. And then to come back to my troop and tell everyone I failed that RAF test was a little bit of a. Again, if we look at embarrassing moments in my life, that was one of them. But I was like two marks off, but again, doesn't really matter.
That is a professional embarrassment, isn't it? I mean, and again, on the face, it's not funny, but like they're almost the most harrowing.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
not sound kind of like not sound like hyperbole, but you know, it is actually like quite, because, like you said, you were known as like the Fizz Ninja.
Shouldn't have been failed in that.
Yeah, so have not to passed it, but again, it's like. People, they just take it at face value, don't they? So,
it's the physical training.
It's the RAF, it's below us.
Yeah,
so it should be easy. You're good at Fizz, how haven't you passed?
Yeah, and it's not a Fizz test.
Not taking into account that for some fucking completely irrational reason, you need to have a good comprehension of how shapes fit together in a pattern.
No, I actually emailed the RAF recruitment team to say that.
Yeah. Like full Karen moment.
Yeah, basically. I emailed them a very good email. Like,
do you know how fit I am?
Only because it was like, I was a mark under, and I was like, can you not take me for on risk or whatever? And they were like, no, we curate these tests to an inch of their life, and they're like, absolutely tell you if you've got the potential to go and do something else. I was like, that's bollocks.
That is bollocks.
Yeah.
By the way, I know I say that is bollocks a lot. That you're 1 mark under.
1 mark
on some shit fucking like shape test.
Yeah, and I knew someone who went to the next stage, which was like a 2-day, 3-day course. Breezed it, but then was the only person to pass. The rest of them failed all the physical stuff. It's mad, so they'd optimised for like number crunches.
Yeah.
Got there, and this bloke couldn't press a fucking empty barbell.
Yeah, which shows how flawed the system is, because the one bloke who you knew, who went on to the next stage, who's shock, was actually in decent shape.
Passed.
Breezed it.
Yeah. It was mad. Anyway, so that was my ammunition.
It's weird that, because you'd think that the kind of attribute most desired for that role is physical.
Yeah. Or at least communicative.
Yeah.
Which it kind of should be, right? You should be in good shape, yes. But if you're going to be coaching people, you should be able to communicate yourself. Not just fucking like, I don't even know what that test.
You need to be able to comprehend patterns and shapes.
It's bullshit, isn't it?
Where does that come into coaching?
This is why I just couldn't compute it. And anyway, they gave me the option to resit, but it would have been 12 months down the line. I just wasn't prepared to do that, so I chinned it off.
Yeah. Now, you have spun that before.
Yeah.
Can't remember when.
But anyway, I thought that would fit.
Yeah.
And my third one, just quickly. Third one, just to bring the tone up a little bit, was
airing a lot of dirty laundry.
Yeah, it was year 3. So what are you, about 8? I don't know. Whatever.
7 or 8, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, as people might know, I'm quite a big Harry Potter fan. And I had a slight infatuation for a certain Emma Watson. So I
the slut.
I wrote her a letter and posted it. And to this day, no response.
Yeah, well, that reflects more poorly on her than it does you.
Yeah,
I think if you've like got a bit of an infatuation at that age, like that's the kind of thing that you would do.
It just all plays into my romanticizer.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, the writing was on the wall at that point, wasn't it?
It's funny. It's weird how it's like it's ingrained in you from that age.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But anyway, yeah.
It's weird. Yeah, well, this is going to take a fucking turn for the worse now. And I won't go on too long, guys, because it's a time pressure situation.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is... I'm not going to beat around the bush. Harrowing.
Fucking...
This, again, involves a female.
Right.
Who I'm...
Of course. Is she going to remain nameless?
Yeah.
Right.
For legal reasons. No, not for legal reasons. Who, again, I now don't have much contact with and may or may not be in Australia. Again, potentially not related to the incident, but it probably played a part.
Yeah.
I had a thing with this
individual. She booked a fight the day after.
This is about 2 years ago now.
Okay.
So this is relatively recently. This is kind of not in piss can era. You know, we talked about like when I went to Iron Apple and did like 14 days on the piss.
Yeah.
This is in the months leading up to that. So I'm like peak kind of like live for the weekend at this point.
Yeah.
And I had this weird like infatuation with said individual. You know who it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do know who it is.
She'll remain nameless, even though she does have a name.
Yeah.
Quite a distinct name amongst our friendship group. How do I articulate this concisely? Basically, right, we had a thing. She came back to mine. I think it may have been the first time she came back to mine.
Yeah.
And in my drunken state, I decided that this would be a good time to serenade her with a guitar. For those that know me, I'm not particularly musically gifted. Although I do possess 2 guitars, I would never say that I can actually play them.
Yeah. Is it a strong suit that you lean on frequently, or
not really? No.
No.
I can't sing, and I can barely play a few chords. So naturally, in my drunken state, I thought this is going to win her over.
Yeah.
I think
she's not already in at that point.
Well, yeah.
Was this the close?
Well, yeah. She was in my bed.
Right.
So at this point, I can only do damage.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
did.
Like, and I did do damage, quite significant damage.
Right. Yeah. And to all the listeners as well.
Yeah.
So go on. So talk me through this. Okay, so you've whipped the guitar.
So I've
out.
whipped the electric.
You haven't whipped anything else out.
Again, I've gone electric, not acoustic. Interesting choice.
That is interesting.
I didn't go like full distortion, start playing Metallica.
Plug into an amp.
Yeah, true.
Put these on, love.
Enter Sandman at like 4 in the morning. I need fucking
putting headphones on it. Yeah, love.
I get a load of this.
Crank
it up. So I think I tried to play Half the World Away by Oasis.
Can only imagine that locking eyes with her.
With mixed success.
So could you play it or not?
No. Well, yeah, but badly.
And you were singing?
No, I wasn't singing. So like I was never singing. So
right.
Like, I know you said serenade. It wasn't like full. What's that bloke Ben from the In-Betweeners movie?
It wasn't. Got in my head.
It wasn't that. It was just.
What was her reaction to this?
Laughing. So I think she's never good, is it?
I mean, laughter in the bedroom generally isn't good.
The wrong type. So I think she thought I was a lot better at the guitar than I was letting on, and I was doing it like ironically, which played into my favour.
Yeah, true.
But the sad, tragic part of this story is that I was trying.
The tragic truth is you were doing your best.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not ideal. You see her again after this?
What?
You see her again after this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because that was.
That was the.
Because then I got to. Well, this is part of the interrated. So the whole kind of like, I don't know, the whole. What would you even call it? The whole love affair.
Fling.
The whole fling was doused in embarrassment. Yeah. So as if that wasn't bad enough.
That's good.
The second time I then saw her, I was then too drunk to perform. Which is
now synonymous with you as a brand.
That is very much part of my brand in our inner friendship group, which is good because it was once.
Because it was once.
Well, this is the problem because I've told people this. She hasn't told anyone this. Yeah. I've told people that because I'm very self-deprecating.
Yeah.
To my own detriment, really.
And now the whole internet knows.
Yeah, and now the whole internet. That's good, isn't it?
It's mad, that.
Because I've now told people on a podcast on the internet.
That's
for a cheap laugh.
Yeah, that's going to bite you in the arse in a couple of months.
Yeah,
it always does.
When I'm famous.
Something we say on this podcast always comes back into my DMs.
Yeah, and again, not in the way you'd hope.
Sometimes. with certain individuals. But yeah, so that's a good note to end on, I think.
And if you are listening,
gopping.
Please come back from Australia.
Yeah, Eddie still loves you. He's got to finish his
I only got onto verse 2.
Yeah, you've got to finish the rest of the Oasis discography.
So on that rather kind of sordid note,
what can you as listeners take from this?
Don't be like me.
Well,
I mean, it's been on the nose. On the nose, but
we all have our failings.
Yeah, we do. Just get back up and try not to cry. Would be my.
Don't admit to an unpainted face.
Don't do these things and then tell the internet for a cheap laugh.
Yeah, because we've now done that and it's not got any better.
And I can't see into the future, but I can't imagine it going particularly well.
But yeah, I mean, sometimes you can have the idea that people don't mess up.
But even seemingly really well-rounded
professional outfit like ourselves,
serious operators, do have their foibles.
Still have skeletons in their closet in the form of teddy bears that seek rejection.
I've got loads.
Yeah,
I had to buy another closet. Those big ones from IKEA that you can like bolt together. Got one of them. Walk-in. It's still full.
Skeleton closet. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the end of this episode. Next week we'll be slightly back on track because we're going to do a lift in the lid.
Yes.
You're going to think of your biggest marine myths,
and
we're going to discuss them.
Indeed. So we're going to do a little myth buster for you. So that'll be cool. But that'll be next week. So this is going to come out on what, the 31st-ish?
Or the 1st, yeah.
First, yeah. Cool. So hope everyone had a good
laugh at my expense.
Well, I was going to say bank holiday weekend, but also that as well. Yeah. Cool. And we'll see you in the next one.
See you in a bit.